Welcome into a new week of WTA, everyone. Unfortunately, no Voco today, but we got a good match between Drahuska and Semaph for the hybrid format. At least you still continue this streak. Just continue the streak. Nice, good to see. All right, we'll drag the both in and get that C number from them. Hey Drahuska, hey Semaph.
Hi there.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Can I get a number from both of you to generate that seed real quick?
6.
6,
7.
6, 7. Alrighty.
Oh no.
That was your fault, Drahuska. You teed it up.
I I am using the
Okay,
date
we got
for my
seven. We got
numbers.
788, 7886. So no 6-7 in that seed, but is what it is. You got kicked from the shared chat, Drahuska.
That again. Okay. It'll be good now.
Let's replace the random gibberish. Bots, 50 marbles.
It will be bots. The question: do you guys want to do 50 marbles, or do you want to do a lower marble count?
I don't mind about any amount of marbles.
I wouldn't mind 50 either.
Okay, we'll do 50 then.
Just
It'll be
try
interesting.
it.
Let's have fun. Let's go for 50.
Yeah.
All right. So then you guys obviously can worry about whether you want to have offline mode and whatnot, just to avoid these sort of waiting results at the end.
Removing the local leaderboards.
Yeah. Quickly running over the rules. I'm assuming you guys know, but anyone in chat that doesn't, we have the run for each of them split into 5 categories. The level ranges are shown on the screen. There's 1 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 11, 12 to 14, and 15 and 16. So make sure you're resetting at levels at the end of level 16 and don't run 17. In each of these sections, I'll be recording how much time they took and the amount of marbles they saved to calculate a hybrid score, which will be their marble saved per minute, which is the H score in the middle of the leaderboard. And basically, whoever has a higher hybrid score in a section will take that section, and they'll get multiple attempts to score each of these hybrid scores, and then it's best out of 5 across all the categories. That should sum it up. Sam, if you can open the level, there's no squeegees, there's no timing for you there.
I don't like it.
It's a very good level to the start. I think it might literally be okay. No, if you flipped the other LTL, I think that's literally the worst possible level one you can get because weaving both directions off a corner is tough.
I think actually this is worse than the other.
Maybe
Yeah.
it depends on how your marbles arc out. It's close between
We'll
the
see.
two. And then yeah, obviously the last thing is whether you guys wanted to stay or get moved during the match. I'm assuming you both want to stay in here, just muted.
I've checked my mic settings, so yeah, I can mute myself.
Good. Same for Druska, right?
Yes.
All right. That is good to go then. I don't think there's much
Good luck.
else. Good luck for both of you.
Good luck.
Just make sure, we got the 50 mile count on the local side, so I don't have to fuss with that. And the thing I forgot was the timer. That's good. I did forget to mention that, but obviously the match will be 40 minutes, and there'll be a little bit of 5 minutes leeway to finish off any section you're on by the time we're ending. So if you're like just starting a segment, you can have 5 minutes to finish it, which should be enough for any of the segments. Alrighty, I guess without further ado, we'll start getting away. Are you ready, Drahuska?
Ready?
Are you ready, Semaph?
Yes, I am.
Alright, we'll go on tilt. 3, 2, 1, tilt. Best of luck, both of you. Okay. As we mentioned before, the 50 marbles in this first level is going to be very awkward because the question is, can you get the group cleanly through that first divide. If you can't, you're going to get spread, and then you're using corners, which is going to lose you several seconds. So slowing down a little bit to avoid touching walls is almost always going to be beneficial. Drahuska already killing marbles as she resets. Wait, no, Semaph already killing marbles. I need to like have better track. Semaph even has his tag in the corner. What am I even doing? Drahuska got marble caught, so both of them having a bit of awkwardness. Okay, this level sets are some of the worst levels I've ever seen for low levels. It's difficult to get much worse than this. Obviously, it is possible, but it's pretty hard. So this is the immediate regret of picking 50 marbles. Alright, Drahuska coming to the octagons, going for the middle strat, which should be fine at this level because you can peel them out. Not going to get everyone, but again, not worth losing the time for these levels because there's going to be so many marbles through. That is a little bit awkward, but I think at this point we just want to see a run through of the seed. They might just give up on this first actually because of how painful it is. Try and get like one good run and then just speed tilt it every other attempt. Semaph also going through the middle of the octagons. A little bit nice appeal, but let's see how he goes with the bit afterwards. Drahuska, a nice lineup for the bridge. Semaph getting most of them into that corner. One flying off. Drahuska come into the end of 4. Semaph not crashing any walls in 3 unlike Drahuska, but he is taking it a lot slower, so there is that. I have not done scoring for hybrid in so long, I'm going to have to get back in the habit of catching the numbers nice and quick. Semaph with a nice quick start to level 4. Just go splashing through. Semaph coming around that corner, using the corner to line himself up. To 20. Where is Drahuska? Inside the wall. Okay, that's good. That's real good. That is not something you very often see. 235 with 40 dead for Drahuska. That is unfortunate. Yeah, very rare to see that. I think I've actually just never seen that in that exact spot, so it is what it is. Drahuska resetting. Such a bad start. Okay, Semaph coming to the end now. It looks like it's 10 dead in 2:24. Exactly a score of 100 hybrid. And when I say exactly, I mean literally the scoreboard has no decimals on it. It is just 100. Yeah. Stacking on the marbles. Looks like a decent egg basket skip lineup here. Line it with the next corner. The question is, does he go straight through the octagons with this group, or does he start clipping it? Yeah. Said a little bit of clip on it. You would have liked to have it perfectly lined up, but I think it's fairly difficult to do that, so I think Semaph got about what you'd expect. We're also coming through level 2 now, Semaph having to group up the marbles for the bridge. As I said before during the previous match we had 50 marbles, I honestly think using side strats is almost always the best bet if you want a stable group, just because it's so much faster to get a stable group with it. It might not be the perfect group, but for hybrid, with these levels, it's like you just don't have to fix it on the fly. Fix it post start. Okay, so I've coming through 7, approaching the end. Drahuska splashing through level 3 again. He said 50 marbles is very rough. Jack mentioned that he tried 100 marbles recently and realized how much harder it is, because like as you get more marbles, it just gets exponentially more difficult because of the amount of space they take up. So it's just like cumbersome to get them through. They're both experienced dealers, so they're not going to scuff, but it's just how many marbles they lose from them clipping corners and walls. They might have been a bit more experienced back in the day, but right now, they haven't had 50 marbles, I'm assuming, for a little while. Semaph come out to the end with 24 dead in 420. Comes out to a high risk score of 70, a little bit above 70, rounding down. Drahuska might run 50 as you mentioned, but it's a thing of do you run 50 and also try and save the marbles because it's so painful. 23 marbles in 227. That ends up being a score of 93 for Drahuska, rounding it up. Semaph coming to the end of 9. Always interesting to wonder if there's squeegees on these levels, because squeegees take a little bit of focus to like catch them early so you can time them, especially if they're near the end of the level. Looks like level 10 is good though. Just got peeling out of level 6 here. On to 7 her. The bridge did not line up in a good way for Semaph, so he has to do like a bit of an awkward splash around, which is going to lose some marbles, but he gets most of them through. Nicely done from Semaph there on level 11. On to level 11 now. And there's the squeegee. Did he just send it? Looks like he's just going. It should be possible if you go really quick to get that side, but then obviously the tile after is not particularly nice. He didn't get it this time. Does he just skip this level and go next? Yeah, first run, just go next. He can then time the squeegee next run. Makes sense. Just coming through level 7. So that makes sense, but okay. 83 and 55. Another squeegee, 2 squeegees on level 12. You might be able to get the first one, but the question is, how do you go with the second one? How do they line up together? That is an awkward spread from Semaph because he has a marble stacked in the corner, I think. Or it was just because of the distance back. Both of them could be reasons for why that happens. But yep, Semaph ended up with a high risk score of 57. It's almost a 58. It just rounded down. Drahuska coming to the end, 43 marbles, 440, 414. That comes to a hybrid score of 73 for Drahuska, 3 points above Semaph. It rounds up a little bit for her. So she saved significantly more marbles. Wait, no. She saved 6 less marbles, but did it significantly faster. Oh, Drahuska. Oh, Drahuska. Oh, no. Well, as we mentioned, Semaph had a bad squeegee on level 11, so you might just want to skip this difficulty for now, at least, and just go on to the later ones. Looks like Semaph's having to wait on that squeegee on 12. Bit of a annoying stuck spot, but they're both going to have to deal with it, so the question is, can you time both squeegees to make it work? Like, did Semaph miss it because of his awkward egg basket in the earlier part of the level? We'll have to wait and see. Drahuska coming through again with this bridge in the awkward spot, so you have to peel out the wrong way. If it's potential one where you want to wait at the cellar level for the bridge to be in a different spot, so you can have it not be in the way, but it's always hard to judge that, whether they decide it's worth to do next run or not. Especially with 50, those sorts of setups become more important. Drahuska just sending it at the start of 11. Does she make it through with a decent number? But the question is, then this next transition is awkward because she splashed in. To make that whole thing work, you did have a nice group from the start, and then like carefully get it through the rest, which is difficult. Alright, so coming through the end of 13, Drahuska finishing off 11 with 143 dead in 548. Alright, so Drahuska ends that one with a high risk score of 53, where Semaph had a high risk score of 50. Sorry, Drahuska had a high risk score of 32, and previously Semaph had a high risk score of 58. 57. I cannot speak right now. Also, this is good on every single one of these levels. How did we get such a bad seed? I'm blaming 6-7 for this. It's Malagrov's fault. Okay, Semaph. What? 846. 995. Alright. Semaph got a score of 13 for that section. Let's see if Drahuska can get better than 13. See some egg busters skipping from Semaph there. Semaph just scuffing. Alrighty. F that level. Next round for Semaph. This is such a bad seed. Like, holy. This is brutal. Of any seed, if you wanted to run a lower marble count for a seed, I feel like this is the seed you want to run a lower marble count for. If there was ever a seed to run less than 50. It's just like so much stuff. It's so bad. Like, in theory, I think you could have some worse transitions for 50. You could get some like more squeegees that are bridges you have to like float out of, but you still have that one on 13. I missed that time. 755 for Drahuska. What was it? 265 dead. Okay, Drahuska ended. Wait, they both ended with a score of 13. Which way does it round? Drahuska loses out by 0.1 marble per minute. Oh my god. Drahuska was a lot faster, but she had a lot more marbles dead. Yeah, the same thing with my match with Jack. For some reason, his 50 levels are just so awful. You get these awkward combos of like lineups into octagons. At least like Drahuska's a save spot here, but in my run with Jack, there was just like an octagon that you had like no good save spot for, so you just had terrible. Because I think it was like octagons into squares or some shit. You just can't do that well. I feel like Drahuska's gonna get a better score on the last category than she is gonna get for the previous one. I normally you'd expect the scores to go down. Only one dead for Semaph so far. Can he get through the rest of this difficulty without killing any marbles? Both of them have killed a lot of marbles in the first section. Semaph is killed only one, and his time is not that bad comparably. So he's going to get like a really good section 1 score. And then he gets caught. Oof. That is unfortunate. I feel like he should have almost not cornered there because the group looked like it lined up with the bridge. But going. Semaph with 3 dead in 232. That comes to a hybrid score of 97.5, slightly lower than his previous run because of how much time he lost. That's unfortunate. Drahuska coming to the end with 300 dead, 958. Comes to a hybrid score of 32 for Drahuska on that fighter level, which is like almost triple. Like 2.5 times the Section 4 score. That Section 5 was actually pretty decent. But yeah, it turns out that time that Semaph lost, going from 224 to 232, lost him. Like, this first section is actually like so significant, it's going quickly. Obviously, you still need to save most of your marbles, which I guess is the hard part. Drahuska not taking it. Semaph finishing off 7 with a marble stuck. Semaph going into level 8. Drahuska weaving through that level 1. Nice and smooth. A little bit wide on the corners, but always better to be careful than to clip corners and lose even more time due to that. Yeah, you almost want for this early combo here to like get some acceleration levels to get them to D-spread together. So for level 2, I feel like you almost want to pull left at the start and then send diagonal right to try and get some regrouping. Alright, Semaph finishing with a 420 with 5 marbles dead. That comes to a hybrid score of 82, an improvement of 12 points for Semaph there. Big improvement on the 6 to 8 category for Semaph. No squeegee on 9, so Semaph can just send it through. Maybe, I can't remember, the bridge is on 10, right? Bridge is on the bridge you want to time is on 10. There's obviously a bridge here, but it's not as important to time. Okay, Semaph almost went the wrong way, which is basically causing a bunch of mess. Because there's 2 different bridges that you want to time on 9 and 10, which makes it a bit awkward. Drahuska splashes the end of 4, Semaph coming through 10. Right, yeah, the bridge lineup on the level 10 was the opposite side, because the bridge is entering the cross ramp. Not cross ramp, the entering these egg baskets, so then the rhythm section afterwards is awkward. Yeah, okay. But Semaph making it through, Drahuska coming through 5, lands the marbles in the corner, but then clips the corner, unfortunately. Semaph just immediately starts level 11, trying to get through that squeegee, hopefully. Semaph gets a few more marbles than last time through. To be honest, any marbles in this section is good because both of them had very awful sections. Drahuska 14 dead in 237. Semaph is 613 with 83 dead. So Semaph got a score of 38 that run. Drahuska's first section got a score of 90, so not an improvement. That was a pretty good octagon splash through from Drahuska. Semaph coming through 12. He's going to miss the squeegee timing, which is a bit unfortunate. He's either going to miss it or have a very awkward group through. Let's see him taking the awkward through, which gets most of them, so that's probably worth it. For comparison of the run, that's probably worth it. The question is, obviously, over the long term, whether that's the strat you actually want to do, whether there's a different strat you want to try and aim for. Drew's coming through 7. A decent chunk of marbles, but going to have a couple stuck in the egg basket to clear up. 13 for Semaph. Level 7 for Drahuska. Going on to 8. Around the side. Oof. Got most of them, but it's always a bit of unfortunate when you see that. Ooh, that's not great. Drahuska taking that group through in 4:26 with 39. That's a slightly worse score for Drahuska, a score of 68.8. So it's compared to her previous 73 score. Semaph trying to figure out this corner. Too many marbles stuck in it, so he's not getting quite the nice alignment for it. Just decides to go to the cups to save it. Does he take that one extra marble and have to rush? Nope. Gives him a bit of extra time to get that group at the back nice. He probably could have gotten it in the 15 seconds anyway. It's a bit unfortunate, but it's what it is. Drahuska waiting for the bridge at the end of this level to make sure it lines up. Very nice for Drahuska here. Semaph coming to the end of 13. Saving at least an extra 3. Drahuska moving on to 10. Semaph on 14. Trying to time the squeegee at the end of the level, I think. Tina having a sip. Unfortunately, I'm not using my muesli because of the casting plus scorekeeping. We'll have the muesli afterwards, Tina. The annoying thing with this is, for hybrid format, because to try to save up, it's very hard to like precisely time a squeegee across the entire level. Just goes the effort of waiting for the bridge, and then it's still the wrong side. It's tragic. Yep, on to level 11 for Drahuska. Looks like she's going to full wait for the squeegee this time. Let's float behind it and get a nice group before exiting, probably. But getting the marbles into the squeegee to go behind it is very awkward for this level. It is a very awkward transition to get in behind it. So we'll see how she goes with that. Semaph coming to the end of 14 with the squeegee opening up for him. See if he can get the group to peel out nicely. It's peeling. I don't know if I'd call this nice. It's definitely going in. It's just going to take him a while, which is the unfortunate part. Time is 10:03 with 116 dead. That comes to a score of 30.5%, so coming out to a 31, which is about equal to Drahuska's Section 5. So there's a lot of potential. It's just, with 50 marbles, so it's something to go wrong. And it's just like, so hard. Because if you spend the time trying to fix it, you probably won't get as many marbles and you lose the score for that. 620 for Drahuska, 94 dead. So Drahuska comes to a score of 50, which is a decent improvement for Drahuska. And it's exactly 50, but unfortunately it's 7 points behind Semaph in that same section. Semaph coming through 16 now after scuffing on his 15 in the previous run. A bit of an awkward split there, and the vent timing is not great, but he gets a large chunk over. Just taking it through to get to the end. Get some kind of score from Semaph here. $11.40, 990, 140, 196. That results in a hybrid score of 12 for Semaph, rounding it slightly down. Just getting a little bit better timing on the squeegee at the end of this level than Semaph did, but it's a bit of a mess for the group at the end, so we'll see how it turns out. Semaph's last section was very quick, but unfortunately a lot of marbles dead, so it doesn't turn out quite well. His section 4 from Semaph, which was a really good score, had a very slow time. Almost 4 minutes for his fourth section there from Semaph. Just to try and keep all the marbles alive. Because there's so many spots where you lose marbles, so it's just like slowing down to save the marbles is actually worth it for this one. Just, yeah, when you're 50, you'll often see slowest times because it'd be worthwhile to take that trade-off to save marbles. Yeah, Drahuska coming through 13, a little bit of a splash. Semaph losing 2 on level 3, but good majority to the end. You can also see they're not using the outside octagons very often, which is generally what I'd say is the nice strat for a large marble count, but it's always a hard one to try and get the marbles to the spot to do outside octagons, so it's easier said than done just to use outside octagons. Because even when I had like 25, I was having a pain sometimes trying to get the marbles to go around the outside, so understandable. Level 14 for Drahuska. Yeah, as Drahuska said, doesn't normally do outside. It's one of those ones where it's like, as you get more marbles, you try to save them. I think it is viable, but it's, yeah, a bit of an awkward strat, so it takes a bit to get used to. Semaph just speeding through level 5, decides that his score's not going to improve, so he's just going to finish it up. 41 dead from the looks of it in 210. Comes to a hybrid score of 96. Actually almost an improvement because of how much faster he was. He was only 3 marbles per minute slower than his previous run. So if he saved... He had to save 6 marbles to make it worth it, I guess. So, Drahuska, unfortunately, with this, missing the squeegee time at the end of this level, which Semaph took a lot of time to time out in his previous run to make sure he got it. Semaph sat at 14 for a fair while to get the squeegee to line up. Unfortunately, on level 7, splashing marbles. Does this Semaph deciding to go back to level 1? Drahuska coming to the end. How many dead? 127 in 10:28. Gets to a higher score of 28 for Drahuska. A significant improvement, but unfortunately just 3 points behind Semaph, which is probably literally just that squeegee at the end. That time of the squeegee did probably lost Drahuska that section, which is just unfortunate. Sub 20 seconds finally. Sub 20 second level 1. Let's go, Semaph. Sub 20 second level 1. I think Drahuska like an 18 second level 1. But then obviously the other sections went bad, so what can you do? Something goes wrong every time. And what makes the 50 marble format so interesting is because there's always mistakes with your 50 marbles. You're never going to get a clean run, so it's just trying to find the best of the mistakes you make. That's all you can do. It does mean you... Oh no, Drahuska. Only 1 lost there. Oh my. 1 marble snipped off the back as she was entering the end there. Drahuska makes it through though. Semaph speed tilting level 3, just get it done. Get her done. See what Drahuska's time for this event are, or is he going to stop at the bottom to regroup? Looks like she's going to stop at the bottom. Probably a smart idea. Semaph went through and he lost a lot of marbles on this level due to just crashing the vents. Yeah, so apparently there was a good timing of a previous run, but yeah, not taking the risk again this time. Semaph coming to the end of level 5. Jumps some marbles over, so he's going to save more marbles than he intended to. Never mind, he's killing them off. Bye-bye marbles. 157 at 122 dead. Comes to a higher score of 66. Drahuska coming to the end of 16. 150 dead in 1255. That comes to a higher score of 31.4, which is 0.3 marbles per minute slower than our previous run, unfortunately. It's just barely under. Bad equal. Still 12 points above Semaph's final section. Just unfortunately it wasn't an improvement. Just already considering resetting after having one bubble clip a corner. Honestly, fair enough. Fuck this level 1. She's gonna still have stuck marbles, yeah. More stuck marbles. Did you just give up on section 1 and go for the other sections? Or what? That's the real question. No, not taking it. Fair enough. Wait, you can't play again on level 1? Oh. Right, so you have to clean up. Because you can't... Oh wait, Semaph 335. 173 dead. 173 dead. That comes to a hybrid score of 60 versus 61 for Semaph there. Because I remember something being annoying like that, which was mentioned, because I remember doing grinds to level 1. I remember there was something that was like, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's why I ended up starting using bowl clipping on level 1 more frequently, even though I stopped using it. Just so I could get marbles off the board and through the board quickly so I could freeze at the level. Back when I was like hard grinding it. Right, Semaph coming through level 10. A little bit annoying Stuck is in the back, but making it through. On 11 for Semaph. Waiting for that squeegee from the looks of it. Drahuska coming through level 4. Alright. Level 5 for Drahuska. A little bit awkward. Again, if you can get most of them through relatively quickly, it'll be good, but the time doesn't look amazing for the hybrid score. Yeah. Rip. 19 dead in 230 with 20 dead. Yeah, higher score of 92 for the Drahuska there. Semaph coming to the end of 11. It's got a time of 5:42 with 207 dead. Results in a score of 55, a little bit lower than his 57 from his earlier run. The difference being he was significantly slower but saved more marbles. Drahuska coming on to level 7 now. 7 making his way through level 12. See how he goes with the squeegee timing here. Seems like he came through level a lot faster. The squeegee's going to be a little bit nicer for him to time, but still always a bit awkward because he's going to have to rush it. Probably could have taken a second or two to try and regroup on that outer corner, but yeah, it's a hard decision to make. On to 13 for Semaph. Level 8 for Drahuska. Hopefully Drahuska doesn't have any leak while she's doing this. Exactly that problem. Now she's just wasting time, so yeah, she just has to send it out, because if you're leaking marbles constantly from the basket anyway, you might as well just send it out. Well, that worked out surprisingly well. If she got those 5 extra from the other side, 44 dead, 442. Wait, 422. Let's actually get the time correct. 24 there from Drahuska. She ends up with a score of 67.5. A bit behind her 73 from 73 from the previous runs she did. Nice, she takes the correct side for this egg basket now. Still gets caught, unfortunately. I guess the timing's still not particularly pleasant. On to 10 for Drahuska. See how she goes with this one. This is the one that has the awkward rhythm section at the end that you have to weave through. Let me check what the real time for the match is. They got 1:40 left. Holy shit, I was not paying attention to the time. They're both in VC, so I'll just, yeah. It's fine for me to announce it. I think Sam's going to finish his section in time. Drew's is going to be a little bit closer to 1:30 left. This will be the last level for Drahuska probably. She's waiting for the squeegee. Semaph. Coming out. Yeah, Semaph's got plenty of time. He's got a score of 847, 147 miles said. Semaph's score was a 36 for that section, an improvement, and passed Drahuska still, so doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of that section. He's an improvement though. Drahuska might actually make it to the end in time. She's got 15 seconds. 91 dead in a 608. Yeah, that's overtime now. So Semaph can finish off his section now, and Drahuska... Okay. That's just it then. Semaph blew... Oh no, it's going terribly at the end here. Everything blew up. Oh, I didn't realize Drahuska's last 9 to 11 actually was an improvement. She got a 58, which beats out Semmaph's 57. So Drahuska takes the 9 to 11 category with that final run. If she managed to get a good 12 to 14 there, she might have actually taken the match. It would have been tough. I didn't catch what exactly happened to her, but I think it probably was a bad egg basket from the squeegee. Very close. Coming down to the last second in the end. It was definitely a very tough seed to get a good clean run through. I'm sure all the scores in this thing could be improved significantly. 11:01. Semaph with 321 dead. That comes to a score of 16.6, which is a little bit worse than his 20 previously. Wait, 12 previously. GG's. Congrats. Semaph taking the match 3-2. Came down to that, like, yeah, right at the end. Just might have been able to bring it back, but yeah, Semaph just a little bit cleaner in the early levels, keeping the marbles alive. And I think, yeah, it took a bit more patience, and that 14 squeegee was the difference. Semaph was just a little bit more patient with timing stuff in the 12 to 14 section.
Yeah, typical seed.
Yeah. That was a really rough one for that amount of marble count, to be fair. That level 1 and 2 double whammy. And then the level 5 was also
that's
not...
why time went time went fast. I think it's the squeegees.
and all the squeegees as well. You didn't get that many squeegees
So
in
many
9
of
to
them.
11, to be fair. You only got like one squeegee in 9 to 11, I thought.
On level
Yeah,
without
only on
squeegees.
It was
level
just-
run.
It was just a lot of them in the 11 to 12 to 14 section. Semaph given level...
But still a lot of timing.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Even
And yeah,
online
all the
and-
bridges in 9 to 11. They had to time, otherwise he just get this really awkward transition from the bridge. Yeah. Well done from both of you. I said.
I've seen better seeds.
Definitely.
It is an atrocious one.
Definitely, we definitely had better seeds in the past. But you guys made it work to some extent.
Look at level 17.
Looks like a good one. You would have wanted to do that one as well, right? Add it in.
That we didn't have to do 17.
Yeah. Both of you guys had like a 4-minute score almost. It was like between 3 and 4 minutes for the fourth section. The other sections were like all under 2 minutes. Wait, actually, yeah, the first section was the second slowest. Levels 1 to 5 was the second slowest section of the entire thing. Which is quite rare to see.
Normally it's around 1 minute for level 3 completion. Now it took me a minute and a half.
Yeah. But well done from both of you. Tight match.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Do you regret
GGs.
picking 50 marbles for this match? Or do you think it made it more interesting?
Uh,
Well, it made the skips possible.
Makes the skips less worthwhile though, is the unfortunate thing. Because if you have more marbles, you lose out on more for skipping.
Yeah. It's about clean skipping.
Yeah.
Nah, he says.
I mean, there's not many clean skips you can do earlier. If you got a drop corner, I can see a clean skip, but...
What do we say? When it's clean, it's not a skip?
You can still have a clean skip. It's just... There's not that many in the early levels that you can do cleanly. Anyway. Is there a raid target to go, or are you going to keep tilting like swap to viewers, Semaph?
I'm just going to stop the stream.
Fair enough. Do we have anyone else tilted on? Because Jack just finished his grind
Is this
runs.
possible?
Go for the tiny gap.
Nah.
I reckon it probably is, but yeah, getting the line for it's
Yeah,
gonna be
not
hard.
with that momentum.
Yeah.
Need more momentum.
Alright. I can't see anyone
Take
else
this raid
tilted.
out
Oh
and
yeah, there's
continue
Niffer
the
on.
run.
I think there might just be Niffer and Fee. I was thinking I maybe should have organized to get the WTA match post for the YouTube today, because it would have been a match between Semaph and Jarumba for today, the BO5 relay format between those two. But
That was a close one, right?
yeah, it was a very close one. But I didn't get around to organizing that before we started. So instead, you guys can go back and watch the um, Sal and Klopp trip relay match. That was really close as well the day before. Like that day had such good matches. It was 3 incredibly close matches. It was a match between LT and that came down to 5 seconds. A
Oh, it's the
best
match
of
with the LT marbles.
best of 5 between Semaph. So best of 5 beer between Semaph and Durumba, and a best of 3 between Sal and Klopp. And Sal and Klopp best of 3 came down to multiple sections, coming down to like less than 5 seconds as well. I think it was ridiculous.
This is
But
also fun. Level with 2 time bombs.
for now, thank you all for watching, I guess.
Thank you for hosting.
And do you have anything to say? I'll shout out, I guess, Semaph, before we go.
Yeah, go follow Drahuska.
Yep.
Great person, great tilter. Always nice to have him next against him.
Anything from you, Drahuska?
Oh, thanks. And yeah, overall, some of I guess. Then yeah,
Methods. Niffer's sitting there with 2 marbles on her bird ways for some marbles, so I guess I'll check what's happening with Fee. If Fee's not doing anything too problematic, we'll send it over. Fee's not even doing marbles from the looks of it, so I'll send it over to Niffer. Wait. Bloop until nap is over, and she's not napping. So I guess assuming she's still tilted.
Alright, see you later.
See ya. Thank you both for playing. Bye bye.